Hello everyone, my name is Ina and I live in Prykarpattia. This is a mountainous region with a special atmosphere. Thousands of tourists come here every year to appreciate the originality of this region. However, real life is very different from the tourist entourage. If you like my videos, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to this channel, like the new episode and leave any comments under it. This will help to promotion a lot, so that even more people will learn about the peculiarities of life in the mountains. Today I visited my neighbors again, Mrs. Vasilina and Mr. Lukian. I want to help them a little bit. In the summer, almost all villagers, without exception, are engaged in moving. Everyone has some kind of livestock on the farm, cows, goats or horses, and they all need to be fed in the winter. Accordingly, it is necessary to prepare a satisfying supply of hay. There is plenty of green juicy grass growing on the mountain hills, but it still needs to be harvested. This is a long, painstaking process. At this time, Mrs. Vasilina and I brought some firewood to the house. We need to light the stove to cook dinner. The firewood must be dry and properly chopped. Then the fire starts quickly. Meanwhile, Mrs. Vasilina shows me what unique fermented milk products can be made from ordinary milk. These include cottage cheese, yogurt, and guslenka, and of course sour cream and cream. In order for a cow to produce enough milk and for it to be tasty and fatty, it is necessary to provide normal nutrition for the cattle. Mr. Lukian is doing just that. He mows the grass on the hill, collects it and feeds the animals immediately. Everything has been done manually, but these people are used to hard physical labor. Here is our old friend Vasil, the son of my neighbor Helena. Today he is harnessing the filly Zorka to go on a short trip. When you live in the countryside from birth, you simply have a genetic love for animals. People here treat horses and cows with great respect and absolutely no fear. By the way, the cattle return the favor with gratitude. But let's get back to the kitchen. Mrs. Vasilina and I need to process the milk. This family does not have a separator, so we also have to separate the cream manually. It is not difficult at all. You just have to leave the fresh milk for a few hours and then simply remove the top layer of fatty cream and put it in a separate container. Then sour cream or real butter is made from the cream. Milk needs to be warmed up to destroy pathogenic bacteria in the composition. Then it is better stored. While we are busy in the kitchen, Mr. Lukian is tidying up the stables. It is imperative to clean it several times a day. In fact, if you keep the place clean, there will be no unpleasant odors. By the way, Mr. Lukian also milks the cow in this family. Many people believe that this is an unmanly task, but such statements are completely untrue. Mr. Lukian milks the cow quickly and very professionally.
Sure. Awesome.
Young Vasil harnesses the mare just as quickly as easily. He has all the necessary equipment and he clearly understands what to do with it and what it is for. When everyone is doing their job, there is bound to be a positive result.
Вчора повністю ложкою. Добре, це вигребці.
Так, зараз. Mrs. Vasilina teaches me how to make real Hutsul cheese. There are many varieties of this delicacy. Both Urda, Hutsul brinza, each of them has its own unique features and flavors. In fact, Carpathian cheeses are in no way inferior on Italian mozzarella or French parmesan.
Повно? Досить.
Угу. Давайте ви помішайте.
Лей. Все, досить.
Угу.
Чому? Брати в руки.
Tamam.
Простите.
After milking, Mr. Lukian has to feed the cow. He takes the fresh grass he has just picked and gives it to the cattle. Now everyone is happy. Mrs. Vasilina and I are going to cook another traditional Hutsul dish, banosh. Probably everyone who has ever been to the Ukrainian Carpathians has tasted this fragrant, creamy porridge. In fact, I don't even want to call banosh porridge, because it looks and tastes like something much more refined. But by and large, it is made from corn grits, but with some nuances. The dish is cooked not in water, but in milk or even sour cream. Large quantities of cheese are always added to banosh, and then everyone chooses certain additions, crackling, mushroom gravy, or something else. When the corn grits are cooked, they are thoroughly mixed, so the texture of the dish is almost creamy.
Bakayım ne yapıyor?
Выбрать. О, еще чуть-чуть.
Bakayım ne yapıyor?
Слушай себя.
But back to Vasa, he is already harnessing the feeling of the cart. Every little detail is very important, otherwise the journey will be dangerous. And Mr. Lukian has a new task. He has a grind booth. This is a traditional Carpathian cheese made from both cow and sheep milk. It is quite dense and tasty. But for banosh, it needs to be crushed to a state of crumbs. You can use a meat grinder for this.
Що, йдемо вуха робити? А? Ото брати тюрцеву? Що, то таке слухати?
Так.
Meanwhile, Vasa loads the cart with large boards and sets off. And we are getting ready to sit down to dinner, but first we have to wash our hands.
Добре. Вже зараз буде шошку брати. А, трошки так. Нічого, все добре.
Ну, давайте. Ах, тепленько.
Eating outdoors is a special pleasure. I always emphasize this. In fact, when you taste homemade banosh made with fresh milk and added with cottage cheese, you realize that there is simply nothing tastier in this world. And if you eat it with a real Carpathian guslenka, it creates a real extravaganza of flavors.
Сідайте. Беремо це що це? Треба їсти чи ні вже?
Так, так, можна.
Це типа я ваш чоловік.
Так.
Ну, я правильно, брат.
То ви всі знають, що хто не чоловік.
Мука дуже суха. Я думала, що буде дуже ріденька, я ще кинула, то не треба було. Я розумію, що молоч, але гусенка це йде любому. Кисляк гусенка, аби на що ти слабувала, то це не шкідливе. А ну пробуй капочку.
Я знаю, ну це дякую.
Печення Марії. Це такий другий день вже після операції лишаться можна їсти. Це усім. Якщо тобі це не пошкодить, бо казав колись лікар, що їжте гусенку, будете дужі. Кришку накривай далі. Застудився це що, таке смішне.
Vasa is already on the road, but it's not as easy as it might seem. Moving through the mountain villages means constantly stopping to open another fence or to ensure free passenger on the road. But the road itself is very beautiful and picturesque. There is a lot of greenery around, and it's warm enough outside, but not hot. Just a perfect day to remember.
Так, о.
Знаєте, Стасі,
Робиться будик.
Угу.
Баночку це вливається.
After lunch, Mrs. Vasilina collects a few portions of cheese, hands it in a large piece of gauze, and drain off excess moisture. And Mrs. Vasilina and Mr. Lukian's son Vasil helps young Vasya load the board into the cart. Every day here is full of chores that make up our lives. I sincerely thank you for spending another day with me.
Мені треба буде дошку туди не викидати. Та піде.
Та піде так.
Можна йде. Я взяв.